EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is proudly sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at Senior Transition Navigator and Luxury Homes of the Treasure Coast. They work with seniors and their families, adult children, to help with the transition into wonderful senior living. And they provide a lot of different services like downsizing and decluttering, packing, moving, relocation, real estate sales, and more. For a free consultation, give them a call at 772-783-2800 or visit seniortransitionnavigator.com or luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. You know, as we get older, sometimes we need a bit of help with everyday tasks, not necessarily nursing care. And there's an agency that carefully matches screened and vetted caregivers to those that need the help. And joining me in the studio today is Felicia Neely, and she is the owner of Hallmark Homecare of St. Lucie and Indian River counties. She's got a lot of great information to share. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Ellen.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm really glad to have you here because I kind of strong-armed you into coming here, you know what I mean? And it's because when you and I met, right, I was very taken with you and your story. As a matter of fact, we really got to know each other at Libby Weissman's open house.
Mm-hmm.
And so before we actually start talking about Hallmark Homecare, first I'd like for you to just share why you wanted to get into the industry of working with seniors and actually starting your own business.
Yes, absolutely. So I come from a nurturing, very humble background. And growing up in Jamaica, I've personally experienced my grandfather who was stricken with old age, getting older, and the challenges that arise with that, and not having the proper in-home support to care for his needs. And unfortunately, he had to go into a nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, you know, studies have shown that individuals or seniors who are placed in nursing homes tend to have less of a better health outcome than if they were to stay in their familiar surroundings, their homes, and age in place.
Yeah.
So with that said, I've always had it in the back of my mind that eventually someday I will help find a solution because, listen, getting old is inevitable. Either we'll experience it ourselves or, you know, maybe we'll see someone around us. And having that steady support in home, it's very important. So when I came across Hallmark Homecare and their core values that really stuck out to me, one, they offer that personalized continuity of care for seniors in their home, meaning they can age in place with that support that they need, whether it's a companionship or caregiving in general, with dignity and surrounded by love. And I said, yes, definitely, I would love to be a part of this. Also, the family, they have full control of the care that they're getting, which is very important.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to dive into that in a lot more detail. But I'd also like for people to get to know you and your background. It's almost like, and it's Valentine's Day as we're taping this, and you're wearing this gorgeous red dress, and it's like you're the little engine that little red train, you know?
Yes.
And we were all really captivated by your background. So just talk about yourself a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. So as I mentioned previously, grew up, had a humble upbringing, centered around love and giving back and nurturing and caring. But I was a teacher in my previous career. I worked also with kids with behavioral and cognitive and social disabilities. And I think that extended into this home care that I'm doing now.
Most definitely,
Most
yeah.
definitely, yes. I did enjoy affecting lives the way I did, providing that support and helping on a personalized basis for better outcomes. So, after graduating college in Jamaica, I'm from Jamaica.
Yeah. I can tell by the accent. I'm from New York. A lot of people don't know that, but just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah.
So, like most young college graduates, you look for opportunities outside of your home country. And I did see the opportunity to come to the US and work with kids with behavioral issues in Boston, Massachusetts. So that was my start here. And then after that program ended, 2 years later, I joined the military. Actually, I was looking to be a part of something bigger here in the US, and I felt like the military gave me that opportunity. So I served in the Army Reserves.
Wow. And thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. It was the experience was very invaluable. I did also achieve a lot through the military, which I'm very grateful for. So yeah, I owe it all to the military. Yeah. But, like you mentioned, perseverance is key. And I've always had the tenacity to be better, to grow, to develop, not to let my limitations hold me back. And, and you
always found workarounds. That's what I like about your story. You saw opportunities. You're like, I'm here, that's over there, and I'm going to get myself there.
Absolutely.
So that's what I really like.
But I'm also grateful for the people who opened their arms, people like you, who said, hey, Felicia, let me help you.
Yeah.
That is very important, because I wouldn't have, gotten to where I am today if I didn't have willing, loving, trusting people like yourself saying, hey, let me help you get to the next level. So apart from putting myself out there, it's that open arms that, help, to get you to the next step.
Yeah, but you're so likable, it's, and I'm really glad that you chose the Treasure Coast, because you were up in New Jersey, I believe, right?
Jersey City.
And that's great, but it's that, it's like a rat race, right?
Yes.
That metro New York kind of lifestyle. I'm from that area, from Long Island, so you and I have that. We understand it. And then on the Treasure Coast, it's almost like you can just exhale and just relax a little bit.
Absolutely.
But we all are working hard, but and it's a family community area. And you're, coming in here in a really nice way. And so I mean, Libby Weissman thinks that you're like fantastic. And I have to tell you more about what she's doing, educational events that I want you to be a part of. But what I'd like to do is, okay, good. I'm looking at the time, is about advice. Sometimes with adult children, they see that their parents or other older loved ones might need some help, and they don't know how to have the conversation because they want their, elders, they want to be respectful. So what is the advice that you have to get that conversation started of, hey, you might need some help. Let's talk about this.
Yes, absolutely. Because I've experienced almost everyone I've spoken to so far who's in need of help. They have that challenge of getting their loved one to accept the help.
Yeah.
I say get ahead of it before it gets to a point where your loved one might not be fully aware or capable of understanding what you're saying to them. Just grab the bull by the horn and say, hey, mom, hey, dad, let's talk about getting old.
Yeah.
And what that means and how we can help support you in your home so that you can have that dignity and love as you get older. If you put it that way, I'm pretty sure they'll be open to hearing what you have to say, because again, that continuity of care in the home, the support, according to the National Institute of Aging, individuals who are lonely are more likely to develop ailments such as high blood pressure, you name it, and decline in health overall. So it's not just about saying, hey, I'm going to get you someone to take care of you. It's companionship. That's very important.
Yeah.
We're seeing that an average of 1 in 2 seniors, as they get older, they suffer, or they suffer from loneliness.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
It is a very big thing.
Companionship, just having someone coming in to sit and talk, to read stories, to play games that they're used to playing when they were out and about, to go for walks. Whatever it is, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
So get ahead of the conversation. It's okay.
I like that, because sometimes the seniors will say, I'm okay. I don't, they're afraid to ask for help. My mom was like that. And I came into the area knowing that she was going to need some help eventually because she had rheumatoid arthritis. We were not planning on the cancer. So big surprise. But and you're working with families where the adult children are living elsewhere. Mom and dad are here. But, so you're dealing with a lot of people over the phone and such.
Definitely. And what we're seeing too is that seniors are living longer. I'm seeing 98-year-old seniors who are so strong and independent, but they need companionship. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So like a kid or, a child who's living away from that 98-year-old who's still very much independent, they can say, okay, I need someone at least 2 or 3 times per week to come in and keep you company, just talk to you, just engage in activities. And, I think that will go a far way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I think we'll do? Yes, because you know what? It is time to take a break. And we're going to dive into all of what Hallmark Homecare provides, what you and your team provide. But before we go to the second half, how do people reach out to you directly? What is your, contact information?
So my phone number is 772-217-7846.
Okay.
Or they can go to our website, which is Hallmark Homecare. /156.
hallmarkhomecare.com/156.
Yes.
And with that, Felicia Neely of Hallmark Homecare, she and I have a lot more to discuss. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
Create your island paradise at Sunshine Furniture during our winter sale event. Save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington, including the newest collection, Key Biscayne. Living room, dining room, occasional chairs, office, and media furniture with sophisticated design and a mix of coastal and Caribbean style. All Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need for your Florida living. We have the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture from Four Seasons, Capri, Universal, Riverside, Hooker, Sea Winds, Barca Lounger, Best, and lots more. At Sunshine Furniture, we're the outdoor furniture experts specializing in patio sets that withstand the Florida elements, and we have a gallery of Berlin Garden and Bollywood. Come in now for the best prices of the year. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach. Don't miss the 50% off winter sale on Tommy Bahama and Lexington going on now. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and visit our outlet store directly across the street.
Nobody outpowers America, and nobody outperforms the lawnmowers and power equipment at More Motors. Discover great products made in the USA by Bobcat, Hustler, Cub Cadet, and Steel Power Equipment. All backed with local service and parts. Going on 40 years serving the Treasure Coast. More Motors has an American-made lawnmower for you. 5135 US 1 Vero Beach. Anything and everything it takes to make tall grass short. More Motors.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I am with Felicia Neely of Hallmark Homecare of St. Lucie and Indian River counties. So now we know where your service areas are because
Yes.
it's those 2 counties, which is great. But now what I'd like to do is talk about the specific services that you and your caregivers offer, because it is not skilled nursing, but it's still very important. So let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So we offer non-medical in-home care,
Mhm.
and the caregivers or the companions work directly for the family.
Mm-hmm.
So companions right now is our main focus. Companionship, individuals who are in need of someone to come in and sit with them, talk to them, read stories, you name it.
Mhm.
That's one of our specialties. Coming soon, it's more of caregiving on a higher level,
Mhm.
such as helping with bathing, feeding,
Mhm.
general companionship, and also including IADLs, which is instrumental activities for daily living, such
Mhm.
as shopping, the higher level needs that seniors may be in need of,
Mhm.
transportation, etc.
Mhm.
So we specialize right now in companionship uh, because our goal is to
Yeah.
ensure that seniors feel secured in their homes, and they also are not lonely and
Yeah.
feel alone. Um, because, like I mentioned earlier, they're living longer and more independently.
Mhm.
I am surprised to see how strong a 97 or a 98-year-old
Oh,
person
yeah.
is.
Mhm.
Back in the days, for me, that was like unheard of,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um, so, it's just another piece that we offer to say, hey, we're here. You're
Mhm.
not alone.
Yeah.
Because we understand life happens. Kids have to move away for jobs.
Mhm.
They have their families too. And, they're doing the best that they can to support, whether it's remotely or, occasionally when they visit, whether it's once or twice per week. Sometimes it's not enough. Having that consistent person there who you bond with as well
Mhm.
makes life more meaningful for
Yeah.
that senior.
Yeah, and so now, in the intro, I said that the people are carefully vetted, and even on your website, it says that this is a referral service. Okay, so now before the caregiver is matched with the client, they are vetted. So talk about what that's like. So if I said to you, okay, and we're going to talk about the recruiting process, because you're here to not only help the seniors, but you also want to talk about the people that want a career opportunity. So if I said to you, I'm interested in this opportunity, what do I have to do? What is the background check like?
So you're speaking from a caregiver point of view?
No,
Oh,
yeah, like if I wanted a job
okay,
as
yes,
a
definitely.
caregiver, yeah.
So the first thing these are some of the basic requirements. You need to have 2+ years of experience right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is that caregiver comes in already trained and certified.
Okay.
Uh, then we do a level 2 background check,
Mhm.
which involves fingerprinting, etc. Make sure that you're good
I like the level 2.
to
Yeah, the
work.
Jessica Lunsford
Yes,
Act brought
exactly.
level 2. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's important because you're working with a vulnerable
Population, yeah.
population with the seniors, and we need to make sure that we don't have criminals or someone who's dangerous working in
Mm-hmm.
the home. We also do driving records check,
Mm-hmm.
and then we ask for 3 professional references. Now, the majority of the caregivers, because they have 2+ years of experience, they have established references, whether it's with agencies that they've worked with before
Mm-hmm.
or a private client, you name it. But we make sure we do our due diligence
Mm-hmm.
to get the pertinent information to know if this individual is capable of taking
Yeah.
care of seniors.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah, I like that because, I have this, staffing background in my professional career, and I do understand how important it is to make sure that people are screened appropriately. So, and I love the fact that you do that to that level. So yeah, so if someone is interested in being a caregiver, because you've been on a recruiting, path, and you weren't ready to come on the show until then. You had to get certain things put together and in place,
Mhm.
and which you did very quickly, which was great. But yeah, what if somebody says, this sounds like, I would like to do this. What like I guess they go onto your website.
Yes. hallmarkhomecare.com/156. And there's a caregiver application option at the bottom of the page.
Okay.
Something to also mention, Ellen, is that apart from doing all those due diligence checks, we also ensure that the caregivers or companions that's placed in the homes with families are insured.
Ah, okay.
So accidental, incidental, occupational.
Okay.
That's I would say, peace of mind for the families.
Very good. Yes, and that's also very important. And then let's see. So now, what about on the side of the senior? Okay, they reach out to you. What is the process like when either they pick up the phone and call, or maybe one of the adult children call to start the inquiry?
Yes.
Then what is the process like for them?
Yes. So the first step is getting to understand what's prompting this call. And I would say 9 out of 10 calls that I get, it's always like a panic call. I need help right now, or, I really don't know what to do and what the best options are. And it's not just about selling my service, it's also helping them understand the various options and how to go about finding that. So even if they don't think that my service would be ideal, that's fine. I'm here to help.
Yeah.
For example, yesterday, I spent half an hour speaking to a lovely lady who was just at wit's end. She was frustrated, and you could hear it in her voice. And I helped talk her through all the options possible. Now she has something to think about. And that's what we're here for. We're here to support you, the family members, and also support the aging seniors who are in need of help.
Yeah. And then, so now do you, after you figure out, you meet with the person, and then, yes, maybe they just need, some meals prepared and that companionship and things like that, going for a walk or whatever, you figure out exactly what they need. Then do you give them options of caregivers to meet? Do they get to meet them first? How does that work? I'm wondering.
So after that phone call, we set up an in-home client interview. I go in and I understand the needs. I observe and we talk. Then the next step would be they do sign a client agreement, and there's a $500 deposit.
Okay.
And then we, based on their needs and preferences, we recruit those caregivers and match. Now, the first day of working with the family, that's essentially their interview vetting process.
Okay.
If it works, which I would say all the feedback I've gotten so far, the caregivers are great, the companions are great, which is what I want to hear, right?
Wonderful.
But just in case it doesn't work, I'm here to make sure that it works.
Sure.
So we find the next best option and we get them out there, because at the end of the day, the family must be happy and the senior must feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And this must be an addition to helping them have a better health outcome.
Yeah, I like all of this so much. So we have 1 minute. Look at that. Cindy is saying we got to wrap this up. So it is hallmarkhomecare.com/156. And that is your starting off point to learning more about the service and getting in touch with Felicia Neely and her amazing team of caregivers. And I just want to say thank you so much for being on this show, because this is needed, and we have all the snowbirds in town and all of that. So, and that's something else too, that people can need help while they're here, and then they go back up north, and then they get the continuation of care up there. So that's also very good. So with that said, my name is Ellen Contreras. I am the host of Treasure Coast Connector. Libby Weissman of Luxury Homes of the Treasure Coast and SeniorTransitionNavigator.com is the sponsor of this show. Have a safe, wonderful, productive week. I miss you already.